Hello, and welcome everybody to Pinstripe Talk. My name is Anthony Simeone, and we are going to go over everything going on in the world of your New York Yankees. It has been an interesting week, to say the least, with the win in Game 1 of the ALCS and 2 consecutive losses. The Yankees seem to be in a spot they haven't been in all season. They haven't needed to win, essentially, all year. They swept by the Twins. They had the division locked up in essentially June or July. So, for a team that really hasn't had to press and struggle, it's time for them to press. I was confident we'd win at least 2 at home and 1 on the road in both Astros series in Houston. We won one game in Houston, won game 1. We lost game 2, a bit of a heartbreaker. Game 3, you're facing Garrett Cole. I didn't think we would win that game, but we had our opportunities, and it was a winnable game. Now, Game 4 was supposed to be today, but Mother Nature had different plans, and the Yankees will have to play Game 4 tomorrow, which actually might be beneficial. If I ask you right now who you trust on the mound the most right now, I'm fairly certain about 100 Yankee fans, I'd have a pretty wide consensus answer as to who would be the guy they trust on the mound to start a game right now. And that's Masahiro Tanaka. Because Masahiro Tanaka, for the past 3 or 4 seasons, however long he's been doing this, he has been lights out, all you could ask for. He's very reminiscent of Orlando Hernandez. Do you remember the old El Duque? I mean, he was a good pitcher in the regular season, and Tanaka's better than El Duque in the regular season. I'm not gonna compare. But in the playoffs, El Duque was money. He was money. He came up big when you needed, and Tanaka has done the exact same thing. Game 1, he made the Astros look like they were guessing on every pitch. It was a shutout. He pitched tremendous baseball. And I didn't think he was going to start Game 4. We had no idea who was going to start Game 4 because of the bullpen games and all that kind of stuff with who's is Hat going to start, not going to start CC. So this extra day might be beneficial. It's gonna be what's it called? Greinke against Tanaka in Game 4, and then in Game 5 it'll be Verlander against Paxton. It's no stretch to say it's imperative we must win these 2 games. We have to win these 2 games. What's going to happen is, let's just say right now, the Yankees win Game 4 and 5. Take a 3-2 lead. Right? They have to go to Houston and win 1 game. Cole will start Game 6. That is going to be nearly impossible to win. We could win it, but it's going to be very difficult. I ask you, what happens in Game 7? What happens? Who do you come back with? They can't throw Verlander. He just pitched in Game 5. You can't throw Cole. He just pitched in Game 6. It's going to be... it might be Tanaka for the Yankees if they really need him to. And what happens in Game 7? What happens? Who knows? It is going to be quite an adventure for this series. Now, the bats. I could pick out 3 batters who have actually done their job. 3 batters. You know who they are. Everyone knows who they are. If you watch the game, you know who they are. LeMahieu's done his job. Judge has done his job. And Glaber has done his job. Gary's bat is non-existent. Encarnacion had a hit yesterday, but he's still not 100% right. Didi's had big hits in the Twins series, but had terrible at-bats yesterday. Terrible at-bats. Swinging first pitch, letting Cole off the hook. Can't do that. And Gio has been... It just hasn't been there. Guardy's hit okay, but he hasn't really performed in this series. Twin series is fine. He was okay. Hicks came back yesterday and got no hits. Played well in defense. Stanton's hurt. What do you do? What do you do when 66% of your lineup is not hitting? And you're playing a team with 107 games. You gotta clean that up. Do you want to be known as the guys who almost get there? We won 103 games this year, 103. And I'm not saying the Astros are an easy foe in like any stretch. They were arguably the best team in baseball. But they are not immortal. They are not inhuman. They are not some lineup of Avengers who you can't take down. They are winnable games. Winnable games. We could have beaten Cole and Verlander. But our bats went dead. Ottavino gave up big runs. And we let them off the hook. That is inexcusable. 2017 is rearing its ugly head. We lost to the Astros. We were up 3-2. We had to win one game. And we choked. We choked. The Astros to the Yankees are what the Yankees are to the Twins. Now, that trend could be bucked in a few days. But until such time as the Yankees show me and every other Yankee fan who sits and watches these games, watch 162 games, who love this team, who bleed pinstripes, who do that roll call in the bleachers, and cheer these Yankees through wins and losses, until such time as that happens, the Astros are this team's white whale. It has to get fixed. Houston's amazing. I will give all the credit in the world to Houston. They had a phenomenal season, and they really are a template on how to build a team. Drafting Correa. I believe they signed Altuve out of, I think he's Venezuelan, out of Venezuela. Trading for Garrett Cole. Trading for Justin Verlander. Even though I hate him as a human being, trading for Roberto Osuna. Drafting George Springer. Yuli Gurriel's been amazing. Drafting Alex Bregman. That is the smart way to build a baseball team. They are phenomenal at what they do. But they got their World Series. They got their win. The Nationals are waiting for someone. And by the way, congratulations to the Washington Nationals. All it took for them to go to the World Series was to lose Bryce Harper. Now, you could say Bryce has $330 million. Doesn't got a ring. And he still might, and he probably won't get one this season. Nationals might not get one this season. But Bryce Harper is definitely not getting one this season. And if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I wanted the Yankees to get Bryce Harper really badly. I thought there was a spot for him. I was wrong. I am not infallible. I will admit my mistakes when I make them. Bryce had an okay season. He had a bad season for a guy making $30 million. But he's not getting a ring. The Nationals just might. And if the Yankees don't go to the World Series and the Astros play the Nationals, I'm going to root for those Nationals because, again, the Astros got their ring. The Astros got their ring. They got their World Series ring. It's pretty much the same team. Carlos Beltrán was happy when he got his ring in 2017. Had a phenomenal Hall of Fame career. He was on the Astros that year, and he got his World Series ring. Congratulations, Carlos Beltrán. I want Ryan Zimmerman to get a World Series ring. The first draft pick of the Nationals when they moved from Montreal, when they were the Expos, to Washington, D.C. He's the leader. He's the team leader, Nationals team leader in hits, home runs, a myriad of categories. He's had one hell of a career. He's Mr. National. And I think he deserves a ring. So I'm going to root for the Nationals if they play the Astros. I'm sorry to the Nationals, but if the Yankees go to the World Series, I think you know where my allegiance lies. But back to Yankees-Astros. It is going to be quite the uphill battle. But an uphill battle, I think a team with gut and guile can really push through. If you break down the games, it's been a bright spot mixed with inconsistencies and as much as I love Aaron Boone, as much as I love Aaron Boone as a manager, I think Aaron Boone does a good job as a manager. I think he really knows how to balance that analytic side with his baseball acumen side. That's why the Mets got rid of Callaway, and that's why the Phillies got rid of Kapler. Those guys were dedicated strictly to analytics, and Boone is not, which I'm very happy about. But you know how Adam Ottavino is pitching. Better than anybody else. You manage him. He's pitched like garbage. Adam Ottavino has been one of your most consistent relievers all season, and I thank you for getting us here. Getting us to this point is very important, and thank you, Adam Ottavino, for what you did this regular season. It is postseason time, and you haven't shown up. If the Yankees leave Chad Green in Game 2, we win that game. We win that game. We sweep the 2-game series in Houston. You know how big that is mentally? Let alone 2 wins. You couldn't win in Houston in 2017. You couldn't sniff a win in Houston in 2017. Imagine 2 wins in a row in Houston. How big that would have been, but no. Boone takes out Green, who is cruising. They can't touch him. And they bring out Ottavino. First batter, Springer goes deep. Game remains tied the 11th. What does Carlos Correa do? Yeah, we all know what Carlos Correa does. That's overmanaging. That is overmanaging. Look